Yeah, welcome to my class. My name is Matt Helmenstine. You can either call me Matt or Mr. Helmenstine, whichever one you feel comfortable with. Who here knows who George Santayana is? George? Usually every history teacher comes up with, guys, I need you to stop talking. Comes up with a quote from George Santayana, it's a famous one. This is another one from him, which I like a little bit more. It says, "A country without a memory is a country of madmen." Really, if you don't know what happened in the past, you're going to get taken in by politicians and people that can manipulate you because you don't know the past. You don't know that it happened before. You know, they do the same things over and over. But if you don't see it, if you don't know what happened before, then they're going to use you.
Well, shouldn't you know the past so that it repeat itself?
That was his original quote, yeah, more or less. All right, let's go through this. A little bit dramatic, but you know, it's better than boring. Welcome to the dawning of a new era. America's at a crossroads in history. As usual, it's our job to put the present social, economic, and political situation into context by analyzing the past. The whole point of this class is to understand what is happening today. And it's great that this year that there's an election because we can really understand, we can make connections between the past and the politicians who are going to be running the country for the next 4 years. So, by June, every student will be able to understand how the actions of our forebears led us to where we now stand and how we can influence the course of history. There are a lot of countries out there where you cannot vote and you have no control of what happens and people get abused. But you have a choice here. You can choose who you want to run your country and how they're going to benefit you. So it's really important. How many people are going to be voting in this next election? Just about everybody?
Just about everyone.
Yeah, pretty much everybody's going to be 18. Alright, by the end, by June, you're going to be like, I'm begging to vote. Like, I gotta vote. You'll see. Alright, look at the next paragraph. Students will use a variety of media sources as well as their own experiences to connect to the past and present. This class is about you. You're going to be having projects, demonstrations, presentations, simulations, and it's all about what you guys are going to bring to the class. You're going to teach each other. I'm just going to guide you more or less. Be entertained by you, hopefully. Students will come to understand that their frame of mind reflects and creates the society we live in. The way you go about your life is society. If you're on the bus and you're spray painting it, that's your society. If you're helping other people in the streets, then that's your society. And you got to come to understand that. Like, it takes a while, but really, everything you do is what makes this city what it is, and the place that and the community that you live in. Our activities and projects will be interactive and dynamic. So a proactive attitude will be essential to our success. I will open the door, but it's up for you to walk through it. So in all of these activities, the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it, and the more fun the class is going to be. I'm not here to waste your time, and I don't want you guys to waste my time. So I'm going to do my best to try and make this interesting and fun for you, and at the same time educational. But at the same time, if you guys aren't into it, then it's just going to bring the class down. So it's in everybody's best interest to really throw your heart into something. And I'm going to give you guys enough leeway in these projects to kind of put your own personality into them. You know, they're going to be specific, but at the same time, you got to put your own character in there and add more color to the class, add more flavor. A few rules. Check out the classroom manifest. It says rules for class and rules for life. The first one is give respect, get respect, in that order. If you don't give respect, no one's going to respect you. Keep that in mind. Second one is be here now. Be here now simply means, like I just said, don't waste your time. Which means no headphones, no hoods, and the hoods are mostly because of the headphones. I can't see if you have headphones on if you got a hood on. Right? No headphones, no hoods. No cell phones, laptops, or electronic devices that are used in class unless specified. You gotta keep the laptops closed unless you're using them for research in a project. Third one is be on task. You came here for a reason. You grow stronger from knowledge, so don't waste this opportunity. Of course, it's been said before, but it's really worth repeating. Fourth one, don't hate, participate. You guys are the class, so make it relevant and give poignant, insightful comments. The last one is keep your class clean and neat. No food and drinks. I'll make exception to some drink. Here it says attendance. If you don't come, you can't learn. If you don't learn, you can't pass. Your grade is not based on coming. Your grade is based on how much you learn. I'm not going to grade you on whether or not you're tardy or not, but what we are going to be doing in this class is notes. Not a lot of it, like 15 minutes, 20-minute lectures. You guys are going to take like detailed notes because it's like college writing. You have to know this for college. The rest of it, I'm going to try and make it more interesting, fun, and interactive, but you have to learn how to take notes. And if you're not here for those, you're not going to be able to pass the quizzes. I'm going to give you guys quizzes maybe once a week, and you can use your notes on those quizzes. But if you weren't here to get the notes, you're probably not going to pass the quiz. Homework. Most of it is just reading that you have to do before you come to class so we can have a discussion. Alright? If you don't do the reading, it's going to be a really boring class. And I know you guys don't want boring classes. Right? Right? I mean, we can vote on this. No? Alright. Essays. These are argumentative essays. I am right. I'm right. You're wrong. Let me tell you 5 reasons why you're wrong. That's the whole idea of the essay. A lot of essays give both points of view. We're not going to do that. We're going to give one point of view. It would be nice if you chose the point of view that you personally don't agree with. It's more fun and you learn more from it. Like you personally don't believe a certain thing, you're like, listen, I'm going to tell you reason after reason why. And it helps you get to know other people. It helps you with empathy, understanding how other people think. But in any case, the whole idea of these essays is to understand the other side, understand other points of view. In America, there's lots of different kinds of people, and you have to try and get to know the rest of your country. This thing, you have to have signed by your parents or guardian. Have it signed by your parent or guardian, signed by you. I myself will sign it. It's a contract. I'm gonna hold you to it. Alright? First thing we're gonna do is a personality test. I hope you pass. Personality test. If you don't pass, you're in trouble. gonna go through this one by one. Don't write anything yet. One by one. This is the Ocean Personality Test, and it gauges what kind of person you are. There isn't a good or bad side. What kind of music are you listening to?
Techno.
Rock.
Techno.
I get wrong.
I listen to all the time. I listen to basically three things. I listen to
What kind of things do you guys read? You read anything? Yeah.
I read magazines, Omar Tyree, Zane, and like other urban books.
I want to show you a little clip from Bill Maher. Do you guys know Bill Maher?
Oh yeah.
Who is Bill Maher?
He's the guy on television who reviews current events that are really like.
It's like,
I like
it's like Jon Stewart, but he can say whatever he wants.
He's on HBO. What stance does he take? Where does he stand like on the political spectrum? It's kind of liberal, progressive, so you have to keep that in mind when you watch this. It's an interview with Ken Burns. Who's that?
The guy who makes the Ken Burns effects.
He's a documentarist and he has effects that went into iMovie.
You know that you ever watch a documentary and they have that picture, but it's slightly moving and zooming in, like in a direction.
Yeah, what has he done recently?
The war.
The war. What war are we talking about?
Iraq.
War on Operation Iraq.
The war on terror.
Not the war on terror. Second World War. The big documentary on it, 7 volumes, very big, comprehensive, and nothing's been done like this before. He's pretty young. He looks like he's only about 40 years old, but he's an amazing historian. Anyways, I want you guys to write down a couple things from this. It's only like a 7-minute clip, but he talks about history and the present political situation a little bit, society today. I'd like you to write down just a couple things that interest you.
Are we gonna write them in our same level as anything, or do you want to?
No, just write it on the back of your personality test. Just like, you're not going to turn it in. It's just some ideas for discussion. I want you to write down something that's interesting.
You took our personality test.
Yes,
Oh, I did. Take it on a scrap piece of paper.
That's off camera.
Yeah.
Do you want to type
Alright guys, I want you to write down a couple things that he says that are interesting to you, relevant to everybody. Alright?
I understood that you made this documentary partly because you read that kids in high school today think in World War II that we were on the side of the Germans.
Yeah, I heard this. I hate to break it to you guys. They think that most of our kids think that we fought with the Germans against the Russians.
So why do you think people are so stupid?
Does anybody here have relatives that are in the armed forces? Yeah, what are they serving?
Well, my cousin is in the Marines.
I have one cousin who is back in Iraq for the second time. I have another cousin who he's in Iraq now, and I have a third cousin who's in boot camp right now. And when he gets out, he's sent to Iraq.
He's going straight there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what does your family think of that?
Well, for the older cousin who's been there, like it's his second time. Like he was stationed in Germany between his those two tours, and he got married, and so the German wife came over here, and she's worried because she's like having a baby, and the father, like the two older ones are brothers, and my uncle says like he's worried that he's not coming back because apparently he's in the dangerous part where he's driving a Bradley like along the highways where everyone gets blown up by
In Anwar or Tikrit, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awful.
That's tough.
sure they're talking about the mustard.
After writing, please show. Because I can't see. So after you write it, you'll go. Next. Bag.
This is awesome.
Take our notebooks and start on the thought provoker. So the 1920s was very important for African American culture because it was the first time that a number of African Americans came out and excelled in music and literature, and Marcus Garvey came out in Black nationalism. It was a very positive African American movement that gave hope to a lot of African Americans who previously had been slaves. Remember, at this point, any African American over the age of 55 was a slave before. And obviously, in this age, in this era, they believed that everything was going to change. Because before there were the Jim Crow laws that held everybody down. And now they thought with this new renaissance, Harlem Renaissance, it would change everything, give a new image to African Americans. Take a look at these two. I want you to look at two poems in particular by Langston Hughes. The first one is called I Too, on page 432. I Too. And on 434, called Mother to Son. Please read those two poems, and I'm going to call on two people to read these poems. So try and imagine the voice Langston Hughes is putting into these poems. So tell me, what has been in the news recently?
Obama.
It has to do with this. Thank you. Obama. And what was Obama talking about? Marissa?
More perfect
You mean?
More perfect
One
dude is like.
Okay.
Anna.
Someone was making a slightly racist remarks that were
Who was
actually.
making slenderous remarks?
Oh,
No shouting up. Please raise your hand. Anna.
Wasn't his preacher, and Obama felt that it was a little unnecessary, so he wanted to voice his opinion on it.
That was so.
For a long time.
Good. What else can you say about it?
Someone who was working at Hillary Clinton's campaign was talking about how Obama has it so easy because he's black and nobody wants to be hard on him because he's black and running for president.
Right. Alright, this is from the beginning. There were a few clips in here I wanted to show you. It is 37 minutes. I can only show you a few minutes of it. Is there a problem?
Sam's awake.
221 years ago, in a hall that still stands across the street, a group of men gathered and with these simple words launched America's improbable experiment in democracy. Farmers and scholars, statesmen and patriots who had traveled across the ocean to escape tyranny and persecution finally made real their Declaration of Independence at a Philadelphia convention that lasted through the spring of 1787. The document they produced was eventually signed, but ultimately unfinished. It was stained by this nation's original sin of slavery.
426. I'm going to split you guys into 5 groups. Each group is going to be an expert on one section. You're going to randomly call on one person from your group to give a speech about that section. All right, so everybody has to know all the details of that section. All right, I'm going to randomly call on somebody, and you have to give a very eloquent speech about your topic. All right? Go ahead.
Okay.
I mean, I can't really make accommodations for excuses because everybody has one. But you have something that's fine. That was so. Good. What else can you say about it?
Someone who was working at Hillary Clinton's campaign was talking about how.
So who can tell me without looking at the page what those 4 things are?
Write an article, write a-
Stacy.
You have to write your article, it's choices that you have to scan the chapter 15 credit poem. You have to bring in a modern magazine, and then you have to think about what you're doing.
Think about what?
Which characters you should do.
Excellent, very good.
The late guys.
Yeah, I need the late people to stay here. That's Shada, Toby, Jessica, Ronnie, and Sam.
The rest of you, you found
So by the end of all the articles,
Guys, please make sure the room is clean. We're not picking up anything after you.
when we get back to the regular
Maybe it's
Shader. I'm sort of making it to you.
Come on, get over here.
Well, I didn't miss nothing.
Right. That might be true, but that's not the point.
I went home.
Oh,
As long as you're getting out your homework, it's going to be serious. Yeah. You guys are all late. Yeah, you always late. Just, I wish I would. Try your best, but you're always late. But you come sooner, or I mean, because if they're giving you a class, like the discussion starts and gets right into it. You miss the notes and miss the homework. That's when I check off all the homework.
26.
It smells so